Today we're dealing with solving using elimination, but this time rather than having opposites like we did yesterday on all of our problems, we are going to have situations like we referred to at the end of yesterday where you don't have the opposites. If I were to add these two things up, these two equations, I get 3x plus 3y equals 39. So notice I didn't eliminate any of my variables. I still have all my x's, I have my y's. Pay attention, please. All right? So in order to make it so that I can eliminate something, how many x's would I need up here to eliminate my x? Go and tell your neighbor there, and then how many y's would you need down here to eliminate y?
3.
Okay, so I've recopied that problem there. If I'm looking at number 10 there, how many x's would I need up here to be able to add these two equations together and get 0x? Yeah? -2. Yeah, I need -2. Okay? Or if I decided I want to eliminate y, I could eliminate it from down here. How many y's would I need? -2. So one of these equations, if I multiply one of the equations by -2, in this case if I multiplied, say, the top equation, I'm going to call that equation A, just so I can reference it. And I'm going to call this one equation B, so I can reference it. All right. If I take equation A and multiply it by -2, that's going to give me -2x's here, and I'm going to be able to eliminate it. So what I'm going to do is leave kind of a trail of my work. I'm going to say I'm going to multiply equation A by -2, and then I'm going to add it to equation B. Okay, so this is my trail here. This is what I'm actually going to go through. And by writing this down, it tells me later when I look back at my work that, hey, I took equation A, this one, I multiplied it by -2, and then I added it to equation B. So if I multiply equation A by -2, that's giving me -2 times x plus 2y equals 20. Okay, that's that deal where I'm multiplying by -2. Okay, well, -2 times x is -2x, -2 times 2y, -4y, and -2 times 20 is -40. All right. So I now have -2x minus 4y equals -40. Okay, there's my 2a. Now I'm going to add it to b. So if I take my b here, I say, well, that's 2x plus y equals 19, so I'm just taking equation B. I put those two things together. Go ahead and add those up. Get your resulting equation there. So go ahead and show your neighbor what you got there.
What does it say? It says that. What does it say though?
Okay, how many got y equals 7? All right. Hey, so notice today, rather than just going, hey, I'm going to add a plus b, I'm going to have to manipulate one of them, okay, by multiplying it by something. All right, so in this case, if y equals 7, I'm now going to plug that back into one of my equations. Maybe I use equation b here. So if I'm kind of keeping true to leaving a trail there, I'm just saying b. I take 2x plus y, which is 7, equals 19. That gives me 2x equals 12, and 1x is 6. The ordered pair, 6, 7. Remember, that represents a place where those two lines cross, if you were to graph them. I have no idea if that's what the lines look like, but it would be a coordinate where they cross. Okay. All right. Any questions on that? Kind of a little different, right? A bit different than yesterday. Okay, I want you guys to try number 11. Okay, so next problem on the page there, number 11. So once you've decided that all the x's and y's are on the same side, then you can look for opposites. If there aren't opposites, so 3x and 4x aren't opposites, negative 2y and negative 3y aren't opposites, so now you have to figure out what you're going to multiply your equations by to make opposites. Okay, tell your neighbor what you're going to make. What opposites are you going to make there? Okay, how many of you are going to eliminate x? How many are planning to eliminate y? Some of you aren't even going. You're not eliminating anything. Come on, pick the one. X or y? How many want to eliminate x? Who's going to eliminate y? We're going majority here. Raise your hand high. X, y. Okay, looks like y is win. If we are going to eliminate y, you're trying to get the same number, but just opposite signs, right? So if I'm just focusing on those two things, okay, the negative 2y and the negative 3y, what number do 2 and 3 both go into? Yeah, 6, right? So if I want to make 2 into a 6, I have to make a positive and a negative 6. So let's say I want to make this 2 up here into a positive 6. What do I have to multiply that 2 by to get 6? I have to multiply it by 3. Now if I want to get positive 6, it'd have to be a negative 3. So if I call this equation A, I'm going to take negative 3 times equation A. So remember, this is my road. This is kind of my roadmap here. We know that's going to give me, I'm not going to worry about anything else right now. We know that negative 3 times equation A will give me negative 3 times a 2, which will give me a positive 6. Now I need to make this down here a what? Negative 6. Right? It has to be the opposite. So negative 6. So what do I multiply negative 3 by to make negative 6? By 2. So I'm going to take equation B, and I'm going to multiply it by 2. Okay, so if I add negative 3a to 2b, or not to b, it's not a question. All right? There we got it. That's going to eliminate a variable. So that's kind of your step there. If you don't see those opposites, once you get the x and y by themselves or together on one side, then you have to come up with a plan. This is my plan. How do you do your plan? Well, you kind of follow it out here. So if I'm going equation A, which is 3x minus 2y equals negative 2, and I'm multiplying that by negative 3, and then I'm going equation B, okay, equation B, which is 4x minus 3y equals negative 4, and I'm multiplying that by positive 2, then adding those up, that ends up giving me this guy right here, negative 3 times 3x is negative 9x. Negative 3 times negative 2, there's my positive 6y. And negative 3 times negative 2, which is positive 6. And then I've got my 2b, so 2 times 4, that's my 8. 2 times negative 3 is negative 6y. And 2 times negative 4 is negative 8. Okay, any questions up to there? How many are with me so far? All right. So now, let's add them up. How many x's do I get? Yeah, negative 1. So negative 1x. How many y's? 0, or hero there. And what do I get here? Negative 2. So what's 1x equal?
2.
Yeah, if negative x equals negative 2, then x equals 2. Bless you. So if we know x equals 2, we can take that and plug it into one of our equations here. Okay, so maybe we use equation A and we put the 2 in up here. So 3, you guys see that? Yep. 3 times 2 minus 2y equals negative 2. That gives me 6 minus 2y equals negative 2. Which then is, we subtract our 6, so we get negative 2y equals negative 8, and y equals 4. Alright, so we now have the ordered pair 2, 4. And then we can test it, make sure it works out. Put that 2 in, so that's 6 minus 2 times 4 is 8, is negative 2, and 4 times 2 is 8, minus 12 is negative 4. Alright. It's not easy, guys, and some of you are going to find different ways of organizing your work, and that's okay. The goal is that you organize it. Alright. I want you to skip down to number 13. Taking a look at 13, work with your partner there. What are you going to eliminate? Make a decision, and then figure out your plan. Hey, some good discussion out there. How many of you are eliminating x? Just out of curiosity. How many are eliminating y? It'll work either way. I'll let you keep going there. So you're asking as I'm right. Hey, I'm going to eliminate my y's because I know I'd have to multiply this one by negative 2 and that one by 3, or negative 3 and positive 2, versus multiplying by a 4 and a 5. Just smaller numbers. Now, if you eliminated x, that's fine as well. It's not wrong if you eliminated the other. So if I'm going through and doing this, I am going to multiply equation A by negative 2 and equation B by 3. That's going to be kind of my road marker. Negative 2a plus 3b. Now, how many of you followed that same idea? Negative 2a times 3b? A couple of you. How many did 2a and negative 3b? Okay, how many eliminated y or x instead? Okay, well, if I'm doing this, negative 2a, that's negative 8x. Negative 2 times 3 is negative 6y, and negative 2 times 21 is negative 42. And then 3 times equation B, so 3 times 5 is 15. 3 times 2 is 6. And 3 times 21 is 63. I add them up. My y's disappear. I end up with 7x equals 21. And so 1x is 3. Now, I saw a bunch of you had x equals 3. Good. All right. Who got x equals 3? Well done, man. So did we... Which equation did you plug that in, A or B? Who plugged it into A? Who plugged it in B? Shouldn't matter. They'll both work. I'm going to use A just because I can work my way up a little if I do that. So if I go 4 times 3 plus 3y equals 21. All right, that gives me 12 plus 3y equals 21. Subtract 12, I get 3y equals 9, and y is 3. Okay, so I now have x equals 3 and y equals 3, so the ordered pair 3, 3. Any questions there? Now, who eliminated y first? Did you get 3, 3? All right, cool. And we test them out, right? That would be 12 plus 9 equals 21, and that's right. And 15 plus 6 equals 21. That works out as well. Yep. Okay. Everyone rate themselves 1 to 5. 5, got it. 1 struggling. Okay. So here's what I want from you. I want you to complete 2 more problems on this page. I need you to complete number 14. Actually, 3 more problems. Number 14, 15, and 12. Okay? Those 3. Now be careful on 12, please. All right? Don't get yourself so tied into one process that you don't realize how easy number 12 is. All right? Okay? So give those 3 a shot. I'm going to hang up the answers. You guys are going to ask for help. And then I'm going to be passing out today's assignment. Okay? After you're done with those 3. All right. Oh, you know what? You guys, let's skip 12. 12's the only thing I really wanted to... Did you finish? Who said seriously? Audrey? Audrey wants to do it? Oh, I'm sorry. You know, the only reason with 12, I like the idea that, hey, if you look at equation B, I like the idea that I can actually just solve this. Audrey, did you figure that out? That you could just solve this? Right? It just has x. So we add 10, which is 8. We get 3x. The only problem I have with it is it gives you a fraction right here, which I'm not so opposed to fractions. It's just that when you're learning the material, I think that adds a piece of difficulty that we don't need right there. So then you'd have to plug this x back in up here. All right? Not that you couldn't do it. I know you could, but I'd rather you focus on 14 and 15 right now. So do those 2. I'll be around with your assignment today. Make sure you're asking for help. All right. Here's number 14.
We're on the need to find out the x.
There you go. Check your work. Number 14. Please. Hey, any questions on either 14 or 15? Okay, so once you're done with that, make sure that you're working on your puzzle time sheet, and then if you haven't scored up your assignment, that your graphing and your substitution review, that's still up here as well. Make sure you get that in. Some of you still had to show some work and get the corrections made on it. All right, the answers for today is up there as well, the work at least, so you can be checking that as well. Okay? All right. Make sure you're asking